Good morning. Today is Friday. It is the 24th of Teves. Today is a very, very special day. This is the Yortzeit, the day of passing of the Alter Rebbe, the author of the Tanya. He passed away in 1812 in this day. And it's a very special bracha. On the day, it says, the day of the passing of a tzaddik, everything what he lived in his entire life brings blessings to everyone, especially to those who are the followers, the following his ways, that study his Torah. And we here, along with many, many tens of thousands of Jews around the world, that we study every single day the Tanya, certainly that we get connected with the Alter Rebbe, we get all of the brachas of the Alter Rebbe. And so this is a time to give a bracha. We should all have hatzlacha. As the Alter Rebbe said, that he got the blessing that all of those who follow his ways will be sure to be victorious in all of their challenges. So yeah, we shall be victorious, and the ultimate victory will be with the coming of Mashiach. So let's start with the Tanya. Today we're learning the second part of chapter 15, and we're talking about the two levels of the Beinani. There is the Beinani, which is the intermediate person, that person who is in full control, is disciplined in his thoughts, in his speech, and his actions, always doing only the right thing. However, he still has a Yetzer Hara, and obviously different levels. Some people have a smaller Yetzer Hara, evil inclination, he has desires to other things. And here the Beinani, in general, the Alter Rebbe says there are two types of a Beinani. One of them is called Oved Elokim, one who serves God, and the other one is considered one who serves him not. What does it mean he serves him not? He doesn't serve Hashem, because we're talking about such a Beinani that by nature he doesn't have such passion in doing worldly things. Some people are by nature, the goody-goody in the class, and is doing only good things, sitting with a book and studying, and is not, so for some reason, he's not drawn to have for so much fun. He's all about doing the right thing. Not that he doesn't have a Yetzer Hara. To differentiate between him and the tzaddik has no evil at all in his heart. But the Beinani just doesn't have an urge to do certain things. So he by nature is going and is going to study Torah and is going to do the right thing, but he's considered lo avoda. He's not serving Hashem because he's not struggling. The struggle is the working on yourself to do what you don't want to do, and to nullify your own desires for Hashem's desires and to become one. So let's see how the Alter Rebbe continues here. Says the Alter Rebbe, Ubaze Yuvan, and with this we will understand Mashakasu beGemara, what it says in the Gemara, the Oyved Elokim. What is the Oyved Elokim? One who serves Hashem. This is the one who studies his chapter 101 times. He studies. And the one who serves him not. So he who serves him not is refers to one who reviews his studies only 100 times. Because back in those days, they would study anything they would study. They didn't have books like we have available today. So whatever they would study it's called the oral law for a reason. Everything was orally. They would learn things orally. So they would study and they would memorize, and the norm would be they would study everything 100 times. Wouldn't be a bad idea today. Everything you study 100 times, you get it. You'll be connected with it. So when you study 100 times, that was the norm. So someone, therefore, if he studies is 100 times, say that's normal. To study 101, now it's going already beyond his nature. It's going beyond of what he's used to. This is the effort. The one more than 100 is more than just. It's the difference between 100 and 101 is more than just one. It is changing the nature. And the Gemara brings us an example of that back in the days they used to have the transportation. They used to have the services to transport something from one place to another place. They would hire donkeys, and they would have a certain price for 10 parsa. Parsa is like a mile, 1.2 miles. If they would have for 10 parsa, they would charge. They would charge 1 zuz. And if you want to, but this was the normal. But if you want to go 11 parsa, which is one more mile, then they would charge 2 zuz, double. Wouldn't charge a zuz. They wouldn't charge a zuz and 10 cents. So that's what it continues. Let's look inside. This is so because in those Talmudic days it was customary to review each lesson 100 times. As the Talmud illustrates there, Mashal Mishuk Shel Chamarim, an analogy of the market of the donkey drivers, Sheniskarim le'eser parse bezuzah. And they would be hired to 1 zuz for 10 parsa. But if you want, they demand 2 zuz for driving even 11 parsa. Driving, why? Because the 11th mile, the 11th parsa, exceeds their customary practice. And therefore, therefore, he says this 101st time, which is beyond the normal practice, which the student was been accustomed since childhood. This is equivalent to all previous 100 revisions combined. In fact, he says its quality surpasses them in greater strength. That now you can be called he who serves God. Why is that? What is it that about the change of the nature that it makes you one who serves God? So the Alter Rebbe says, because what drives the person's action? What drives the person's action? He says, if you're doing something because of a routine, then whatever you do is only the external faculties that is doing. But if you want to do something which is against your nature, something that you're not used to, in order to do this, you need to tap in to some internal faculties. You need to tap into to reveal a reason why you should do it. And what is the reason why you should do it? Is when you think about the love of Hashem. So therefore, you have to tap in by thinking, by meditating in the greatness of Hashem in order to be able to want to do the thing that you're not used to do. And Alter Rebbe says there's 2 ways of doing it. One is through the meditation in the greatness of Hashem that develops into a love of Hashem, because that's the way emotions work. Emotions come as a result of the intellectual meditation. When you think about something positive in a positive way, you start to develop positive feelings. And the same thing is the other way around. If you think about a negative thing in a negative way, you develop negative feelings. So the same thing is the emotions of fear and love to Hashem. The greatness, you think about the greatness of Hashem, you want to have this, you develop a feeling of love, and then that will make you go against your nature. And the same thing, also the second way is by revealing the natural hidden love that is in the heart of every Jew. Because there is a natural love, that's something that is there. You just have to reveal it. So this, what by the Beinoni, the one who has to go beyond against his nature, in order to do things that he's not used to do, he needs to tap into this deeper faculties of his neshama. And let's continue inside. It says the Alter Rebbe, Mipnei shekedei leshanois teva haregilus, because in order to change his habitual nature, tzorich le'oirev es ha'avo l'Hashem al yedei shemizboinen b'gdulas Hashem ha'meichel. He needs to arouse within him the love to Hashem. How? By contemplating God's greatness in his mind. To control the nature, to master his nature, which is in the left side of his heart, as we learned in the previous chapters, which is full of the blood of the animal soul, which is from the klipa, the other side, the non-holy side. And from there, the nature comes. The power of his love enables him to transcend his nature. And this, overpowering one's animal soul through a love of Hashem that is generated by meditation, this is a perfect service for a Beinoni. That's the ideal service of how to serve Hashem, is by meditating, developing the love to Hashem, and thereby controlling your nature. Or the other way, an alternative type of service of Hashem for a Beinoni is la'oirer es ha'ava ha'mesuteres shebelibei, is to arouse, to reveal the state of love of God that is inherently found hidden in his heart. Limshoel al yodo ala teva shebecholol asmali, and thereby to control the nature that is in the left part of his heart. Shazu nikro gam ken avoda. This too is called the service of God. It's not as perfect of service as the one that takes about meditation and developing a love. Here, it's more of revealing something that is there already, but still it is considered serving Hashem, because nevertheless you are working with something to tap into your inner love to be able to overcome the evil side and the nature. To wage war against his nature and inclination by arousing the love that is hidden in his heart. This is the two ways of Beinoni, which is Oived Elokim. He does service Hashem because he has to work against his nature. His or her nature, this is true of both, doesn't matter. Everyone, men and women. If, however, he wages no war at all, why? As we said before, because some don't need to wage war. They don't have this urges. They're not so. They're more of a frigid nature. They don't have this passion. So, and they do the right thing without a war. Then it's not considered service of Hashem. This love in itself can in no way be credited to his service. and is therefore called he who serves him not. So that's the end of this shir. And here the Alter Rebbe gives us, again, the message of serving Hashem means that serving Hashem, it doesn't matter how much you do, it is the effort, it is the struggle that you tap into you do the extra mile, that little more that you didn't do yesterday, you do a little more. This is the service of Hashem. And this week also, this Shabbos is, of course, the Shabbos Mevorchim. We're going to bless the month of Shvat. It is the month, and it's going to be 70 years since the Rebbe started this mimer. It said it officially accepted a leadership, and it said the first Hasidic discourse. We started last night. We gave a shir in the mimer Basi Legani, the very first inaugural Hasidic discourse. The Rebbe said it is the Rebbe's mission statement. Where you can see it on YouTube. We're going to post it soon. If you didn't listen to it last night, we're going to continue the next 2 weeks to finish this mimer. So again, please join us with this, and feel free to share the word of Hashem, share this class, subscribe and like, comment if you will, and we should have a wonderful Shabbos and a good Chodesh. If anybody has any questions, now is the time.